Hi, I'm Jackie with Army Wife 101, and today I have Greg Boudah with the Jewelry Republic. He is a U.S. Marine Corps veteran who now works in the magical world of jewelry. We actually met at the Military Influencer Conference in September of last year, and since then I have loved learning all about what they're doing with the Jewelry Republic. You may have remembered I spoke with his wife, Emma Boudah. She was incredible with the lovely Irish accent, and we talked about gemstones. But today with Greg, we're going to talk about diamonds, gold, the new military line for men. So if you're looking for a wonderful gift for your favorite service member or veteran, you won't want to miss this. So Greg, thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Jackie. It's always a pleasure to see you and talk to you and just share with our community. Thanks a lot for having me.
Well, thank you so much for being here. So I love highlighting the military background that you have. So could you tell us a little bit about what you did as a Marine and how you got to where you are today?
Yeah, yes, and thank you very much for what you do, and thanks for thinking about us military folk. It's awesome. So my military background, I joined the Marine Corps in '93, and I went, as silly as it sounds, I went guaranteed infantry. All I wanted to do is join the Marine Corps as far back as I wanted, as far back as I can remember. And so I went guaranteed infantry. Now there's several different jobs in the infantry, which I was quite unaware of. But I just figured we were all straight leg shooters. And so I go to boot camp, and then I get through combat school, and then the Marine Corps, they break down the schools. Everybody back then, everybody went to combat school and infantry training school, and then you go to your schools. Well, anyway, I got this great gig called Light Armor and Reconnaissance, which is just like the best job in the world for infantry Marines, because you have an eight-wheeled, all-terrain vehicle with machine guns all over the place, and one next to you that's got tow missiles, and then a mortar one. It's just great. It's all the fun of being in infantry, except you can take your pack and shackle it to the vehicle. So it's like and instead of sitting around on your ass cleaning your rifle, which is what we do in the infantry quite a bit, is you at least you have a vehicle to manage and maintain and deal with. So I did that job in 29 Palms, California, and deployed all over the world from there, doing that for several years. And then I kind of got a little itchy, and I volunteered for Marine security guard duty, which means you get to take off as long as you get through the school. And boy, you want to talk about a school that has pretty high academic standards. And I am not declaring to be the smartest dude in the world, but pretty high academic standards, and they're watching your behavior like a hawk. And I'm kind of a loosey goosey on the rules. So like the Marine security guard, they don't want to send you from the Marine Corps to I don't know, Ouagadougou or N'Djamena, Chad, or Geneva or whatever, and then you go there in some little teeny tiny country in the middle of nowhere and get in a fist fight with somebody or get in an argument and then get on CNN like that, like get embarrassed at diplomatic stuff. So they're screening you academically, they're screening you for the Marine Corps stuff, and then they're looking at your behavior. And man, I faked the funk somehow. Like I got through that, and that school is tough actually. Actually, I mean, I don't want to put myself down too much or expose too much of my stupidity, but like towards the end, like I graduated, and you get like the dream sheet, right? You've been given a dream sheet in your life, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like, where do you want to go? And so
Yeah.
I chose, one of them was like Budapest. I thought that was funny because my last name is Buddha, and then a bunch of other countries, but one of them was Dar es Salaam, Morocco. And this is like '93, so like internet was like not happening. Anyway, so I get this, boom, I get Dar es Salaam, I'm like, woo. And lo and behold, it's Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, like East Africa, way south, like Kenya, like way down there. And so like for the first week, I'm thinking, telling my friends I'm going to Morocco, I'm doing all this stuff. Nope, going to Africa, going to East Africa. And so in hindsight, that duty was fantastic. I mean, there's 6 Marines, 5 of us, we were all infantry Marines, and we ran the embassy like super tight. And then I really had a great job with that, great time doing that. I got to meet a lot of amazing people. Then I went to the American Embassy in Geneva. Then I went to Switzerland. And actually, I met my wife in Tanzania at my first post. I met Emma in Africa. She was like 17 and I was like 21. We can't get married on that program. You literally have to sign a piece of paper and say, I won't get married. But we dated for many years, and later we got married. I got to Dublin, Embassy Dublin, kind of like by some horse trading stuff that kind of happened when the Eastern Bloc opened up and all. Anyway, boring story. Then I became a forward observer later. I was with Alpha Battery 114 in Denver, Colorado, and that unit we deployed to Iraq together. And I did a total of just about 11 years in the Marines. And then at that point, I said, look, I gave the Corps. I was involved in the East African Embassy bombings in Tanzania in '98. I spoke Swahili at the time, so it kind of helped. And then Iraq kicked off in '03, and I said to my wife, I'm like, see you later on March 17th, which is our anniversary, which is St. Patrick's Day.
Patrick's
And
Day, she's Irish.
yeah, I met her in St. Patrick's Day at this ambassador's party in Tanzania
Wow.
in '97, and we were man, what was I talking about? My unit got activated and we're getting ready to go to Iraq like that March 17th in Denver. Huge snowstorm, like a foot and a half of snow. So she's got to like deal with the snow, and then the power goes out, and she had MREs and shit. Like, poor, and I'm gone. We went to San Diego, so we're hanging out in San Diego for like 2 or 3 weeks doing the build up, and then we fly to Iraq, and then I got out and got into the jewelry business, like really some natural transition. So
Right.
that's the military in a nutshell.
I love it. And then, okay, so how soon did you grow the beard after you didn't have to shave every day?
It went through a bunch of stupid iterations, man. I've had like the thing, the handlebar thing. I've had pork chops. I've had a mustache. I've had goatee, the stupid soap. I've had, all options. And this beard seems to stick.
I love it. Well, why not? You've got the awesome red hair, and you might as well. If you don't have to shave anymore for your job, you might as well just have fun
Let
with
her
it.
fly.
Yeah, it's like a flag.
Yes.
That is so awesome. So thank you for your service. That's amazing.
Thank
I
you.
always have this impression that the Marines are very much like you. Like they're just like, yeah, let's go. And then you just
Mm.
are out there front lines, craziest place, and like enthusiastic about it. And that's my impression. Um,
Good. You're right.
So, but I would say that probably has helped you as a business owner because you have to have that tenacity, that fearlessness, that, okay, well, maybe that didn't work, but we're going to go in this way. So can you tell me a little bit more about how you got started and how you launched the Jewelry Republic?
Yeah, awesome. So I started working for other people, so jewelry companies in the U.S. I just needed a job while I was going to college. So as I was going to college, I was selling jewelry. And with the embassy job that I used to do in the Marines, we had all these suits, and we never wore suits. We wore like polo shirts and Dockers and stuff. So we had the Marine Corps bought us all these suits at J.C. Penney's one day, but that's another story. I needed a job, and there was air conditioning in the U.S. where I just moved back to, and so I'm wearing these suits, selling jewelry, having a good time. And when I met this could be sort of an entrepreneurial conversation as well, or a transition conversation from the military to civilian life. Is I'm working with all these civilians all of a sudden, and they're all salespeople, which are great people, and they're all lovely, but they're like a little bit of high drama, like all the freaking time. And here's me, Mr. like high and tight infantry, like, go, go, go. And so I had to like really change my communication style and my styling. However, I didn't abandon my Marine Corps-ness. I just had to like kind of crank that shit down a wee bit. And actually, Em and I were, segue real quick, Em and I were talking today about it. My HR manager, I became a manager in this business, in the store. And my HR manager, I was talking to her name is Kim Cunningham. I'll never forget her. I always had these HR problems, like pretty much the girls always crying. Like I have a coaching session and then they leave crying. And it's only because my pitch was like way too way too much.
Drop and give me 20 kind of like.
Yeah, just like,
Fire you on time. Yeah.
I was like, no excuses, just do your thing. And it didn't really work. So she said, I told her, I've taken my mentality from here to here. And she says, but Greg, here is about 20 miles from where we are still. And I didn't quite, and I was like, that makes sense. So I needed to really continue to massage that and tone that back down. But so I didn't ultimately completely abandon the Marine Corps in me at all. I use it actually as a propeller to go forward. And what I did was I made a decision that when the owner of that company came to the store I was working at, To introduce myself, I said, "Hi, I'm your Marine in this store." He never forgot that.
Yeah.
And he's a big guy in our industry, and so he never forgot that. And later on, I got my degree. It was e-business. They opened up an e-commerce business, and they asked me to run that business, so I started running that. And then I left, and I wanted to get more into manufacturing, and that guy built a factory in Thailand. So he builds this company, and he asked me to run it, and I'm like, yeah, sure. I've never run a company before at all, but so I ran that company for many many years, and what I was able to do was to cut my teeth on his back by learning, because I've never been an executive in the civilian side. I got to the rank of staff sergeant in the Marines, and we have a certain way of staff level of communicating and working. However, at an executive level business with multiple different countries. We had China and Thailand and the United States involved. And it took a little bit of training for me but unfortunately it was on his dime. So I got to grow and develop and learn how to run a business. Well, over time, and my wife and I were talking, and as I'm learning errors and how to do things right and set up, I said, you know what, we're smart enough to just do this ourselves. So we started we have a couple of companies. One is a manufacturing company and in Thailand, and designer goods for American brands all over the world. Some brands that a lot of these people who are listening, who will watch this as well, may know of. The Jewelry Republic was born out of that, where we wanted to go and instead of manufacturing solely for brands that you may know of, in New York, LA to Europe. That's what our manufacturing arm does. We decided to cut it and go our own way with the Jewelry Republic and say, we can do that, but we manufacture it ourselves. And because we own the business, we own the operation, we don't have any outside partners. We can make items and sell them to you and other people, men and women, more men hopefully in the future. Is to we're able to pass the savings on and the creativity on to our community, which is the veteran community. I tried when I started this business, Jackie. I tried to just sell to the mass population, and what I realized after a year of doing that, I don't know how to talk to your neighbor, for example, like just probably a very nice, normal woman living next door to you. I have nor does Emma have anything in common with her. I don't know how to make that connection when I promote or I sell or do whatever I do, or I make jewelry. I don't even know how to sell to that person. I tried, failed horribly. Thousands and thousands of dollars on marketing, on marketing coaches, on professional marketers. It just didn't work. So we abandoned that completely. And we've gone back to our roots, and now we're focused on selling to people that we know, and we know our community, and we've become the jeweler of the veteran community. We've been primarily supplying, jewel rings to our wives, and our female soldiers in Army, Air Force, and Marines, but we're shifting into something a little bit different.
I love it. Well, and I do love your collections, and I love that you do continue to work with the military community, because there are so many reasons to celebrate, commemorate. Obviously, there's engagement rings, which I know you guys do, and wedding rings, but there's also anniversaries. There's coming back from deployment. There's you've just retired. There are so many reasons and opportunities to share that moment with jewelry and celebrate it and have something that you can always look at and remember. And I think using a veteran in his business to design that jewelry, I think is just incredible, because you do understand us. You've lived the lifestyle. You've been all over the world. Your wife has been a military spouse holding down the home front. I mean, you are very, very ingrained in the community, and I think it's very smart that you're working with the military community because you get it. So can you tell me a little bit about, I know we've worked with women quite a bit with some of the pieces you've made. They're beautiful bracelets and earrings and stackable pieces, but what is it that you're starting to cook up now for the men? That's what I want to hear about.
Thanks. It's been a push-pull, because we were focusing on the women. What's been happening is a lot of the men who are in the veteraneur tribe, and all veterans from coast to coast, are saying, "Hey, man," like I literally get DMs and messages all the time. "Hey, man, can you make me this Marine Corps ring? I saw it on my grandfather. Can you remake this? Can you make some cufflinks with the Marine Corps symbol or the Navy symbol, the Army and the Air Force? Can you make it?" So we've gone a little bit through. This is sort of the men's collection is born from the guys saying, "We want jewelry too." And I did not anticipate that. I wear like a wedding ring, and well, now I'm wearing more bracelets because we're selling bracelets. But I'm really not into the jewelry thing. But I'm getting into it, and there's a lot of men out there who want a nice, cool Marine Corps like signet ring, or a Navy Chief signet ring, or we're doing these really cool bracelets. All this is going to be launched here in the near future, and the idea is to honor your journey. That's really what we're trying to promote with the men and the women. But with the new men's line coming out, honor your journey, because we've got these great journeys. All of us in the service, including the spouses, that like some really interesting, crazy, unexpected lifestyles have born out of these. One day we all sign this damn dotted line, or like you married into it, and you're like, you're like, what's going on? Yeah. What's going on? And that journey is very cool, very unique, and there's absolutely a big push to honor it and respect it properly with something that is of value. We have great T-shirt manufacturers. I have all kinds of grunt style and Article 15 shirts, and I love those guys. But I want something. I have an 8-year-old son, almost 9. I'm making my own rings for selling as well that my son will have. I'm not motivating him every day to join the Marine Corps. It's just if the guy does it, he does it. I don't know, but absolutely, I want something that says my dad was in the Marines, and I want my son to have that ring if he wants it. And so we're making something that'll honor my journey, and he can come back down to him.
Oh, that's incredible. And ladies, Father's Day is in June. It's coming up.
Thank you. I should know that.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Mother's Day is coming up next month.
Mother's Day, men, if you're watching, or ladies, tell your husbands. Mother's Day is coming up in May.
I'll plug a discount on. If you put Jackie T or Jackie or anything related to Jackie, if you place an order on the jewelryrepublic.com in the next few days, I'm not going to stick it to the moment, but if I get an order anytime in the near future and it's got Jackie's name in the comment, I'll give you a nice discount, at least 10%. I mean, sure.
Wow. I've never had a discount named after me. Thank you. I feel like I've just hit the big time. Woo! It's going to be a good Friday here. So it is a perfect gift, not just for Mother's Day or Father's Day, but there is ETSing when your spouse leaves the service, or your spouse is retiring after a wonderful career, or they have just gotten back from deployment. There are so many reasons why a man or a woman would want to commemorate their service. And I think that's excellent that you're now incorporating those pieces with the amazing symbols and insignia. So you're doing rings, you're doing cufflinks. Could you do tie tacks? I'm just trying to think, like, what possibly.
So it's a great question. The Jewelry Republic is licensed to use the Navy and the Marine Corps' official insignias and official logos. So all of those things are handmade, and they're beautiful. Then I can't show them to you yet because they're in parts. They're in different pieces, but for the other branches, absolutely, I can make them, I can sell them. It's just not at a commercial level, so we just have to be respectful of the military and their licensing. However, I think what's gonna happen quite soon is we're gonna start we'll start talking to our community about what you're saying. There's these amazing, when you get back from deployment, let's honor that. And honor it with a tie tack, or honor it with a cool pair of cufflinks. And while our items are going to be price pointed nicely, what it is because I own a very high end jewelry manufacturing company that makes jewelry for my factory makes jewelry for big American brands, very high end brands. though you're getting like the best possible manufacturing and the best possible quality that only goes to the best possible American brands, um, at a price that is like untouchable, really, because I'm not putting the wholesale price in there. It's just going. You're basically getting I'm sorry, you're not putting a retail. You're basically going to be getting a wholesale price with the military hookup, because I have a long-term vision of just taking care of our community in this sense. I mean, I almost got engaged. I got engaged. I'm sorry, when I was 18 years old in San Diego. All right, joined the Marine Corps. Some old ex-girlfriend shows up. I'm like, oh, hey, baby, doing my thing. So, I proposed to her. I'm so glad it didn't work out. God, that
I
girl's
had
been in
one
and
of
out of
those
prison.
too that didn't work out either. So
That girl's been in and out of prison like 16 times. Bad. Thank God I dodged that bullet. But the point is, I got ripped off. That's the thing. I'm just
oh,
I was a PFC, or Lance Corporal, and
mm,
I went to this stupid mall in Ocean Slime, and I paid $1,000 at the time, which was $1 million at the
oh
time.
yeah, yeah.
And I financed it. I had no money. But they were like, good. He's locked for like 4 years at the time in the Marine. So they just financed at like 30% interest, and it was junk. Now that I know jewelry, and you guys, I know everything about jewelry. I went to the Gemological Institute of America. I've been doing this. I make it. I create it. I sell it. I trade it. I'm diamonds. I've been in mines. There's really not a lot in this industry I don't know about. What I will tell you is our community will be served fully by me and Emma, my wife. And by you won't get ripped off. I mean, I know the ring I bought was an opal and a sapphire, and an opal is literally like $8. Hey, I paid like $90 for that son of a bitch, and the sapphire was probably worth $7. It was so bad.
Oh,
That won't do that to our community. I want you to know that I'm with you. I'm your people. We are our people, and I want to keep it insular and say you will always have me by your side. So no matter what, we'll never meet physically, probably, but I'm in your corner. Your wife could be in Texas. You could be in Camp Victory in the middle of nowhere. I know how to get something there.
yes.
The guy at that shitty store in Oceanside doesn't know how to ship to the little Camp Victory in the middle of nowhere. I can figure it out.
True. Well, and I love you've said you do ship to like APOs, and which for me, we were stationed in Germany for 3 years, and that was always a factor. Like, can we get this if we order something? And you do. Like, you've got the
Yeah.
military discount, you've got the ability to ship, and you just get it. You're it's all one team here. As my friend Charlinda says, one team, one fight, and I love it. So, who
Good.
better to purchase your jewelry from, ladies and gentlemen, than Greg Boudah with the Jewelry Republic?
I
And
love that.
especially with Emma, her gemstones are amazing. She emailed me all these gorgeous pictures, and I thought, I'm gonna need something because sapphire is my birthstone, and she let me know that they come in other colors too. They're not just dark blue, and I thought, wow, whole new world.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I absolutely appreciate your knowledge of the industry and your passion, and that you want to give back to the military and veteran community. I think that's truly important. It's not something you find, because how cool would it be if someone compliments your ring or your bracelet and you say, "Yeah, this was made by a former U.S. Marine." I mean,
Yep.
who else can say that? I think that's pretty remarkable.
Pretty rare, actually. I'm pretty happy and proud of that fact. And at the end, again, at the end of the day, I will absolutely take care of you. Just remember when I was walking around, we were in the military. We're always looking for the hookup, right? We're like, I need and not the hookup became something else later. Not that type. Well, probably were, but not that type of hookup. We're looking for like the connection. Like if I'm gonna buy a car, I need a hook. Who do I hook up with to buy a car and not get ripped off? If I need to go buy a house, who do I like right now? If I'm a veteran, I'm in Texas. There's a guy. He's a U.S. Marine named Chris Griffith. If I'm getting his company's called Debt Does Deals. You want to buy? You're a veteran and you want to buy a home. Look up Debt Does Deals, or email me and I'll hook you up with him. Like, I need a hookup. I don't know how to buy a house or fully execute my VA loan. Or in my situation, if let's just assume I didn't know anything about jewelry, I need to know and not get ripped off. I
Mhm.
absolutely am your connection. Period.
Fantastic. I think you just said that perfectly. Go to Greg. He's got your hookup. And right now, in a few days, if you use Jackie when you
Yes.
order, he'll throw in
Yes.
a discount for you as well.
Yes, I will. I will
I
absolutely.
love it. I love it. Well, is there anything else that you would like to add today that we didn't quite cover?
No, Jackie, it's always just great to see you, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you do, and your community of military spouses need to be thanked because you guys are out there banging away, doing your awesome mil spouse work with the blogging that you guys do, with the business connections that you guys do, the recruiting of other wives that you do. Back when, I mean, I was in the Marines, the military wives, my family's military as well. And it's like the military wives was a different world back in the day. Like, I don't know what the hell they did, but they didn't do what you guys do now, and it's awesome, and it's to be respected. So
Oh, thank
I'm
you so
good.
much. I think there's so much mutual respect from both sides because you guys are out there, on the front lines. You're making it happen, and we're proud to hold down the home front and do what we can to support. And
A lot of times we're smoking cigarettes or eating Snicker bars, waiting for the next thing.
all
The
the
big
secrets
secret.
out. Meanwhile, we're here with like a kid on the hip, working, cooking dinner at the same time, and like trying to FaceTime with you guys.
We're like, oh man, like, dude, this is a great gig. With my binos on a mountaintop somewhere, man. Yeah, fine.
I love it though. I mean, it's such a nice symbiotic relationship though, because it
Mm,
really does help having, I mean, at service members, I know like my husband brought so much to our household and then we were so happy to be able to support his career. And it's really wonderful when everybody works together and the communities work together, either just as neighbors or as professionals, like, hey, I can hook you up. You need a graphic designer or you need this or that. Like we always go to each
yeah.
other first. So yeah, it's really amazing. I had no idea that it was going to be like this, and it's just been like a second family. So anyone you want to welcome someone to the family with an engagement ring, go to Greg.
Exactly. Or if you're pregnant, you need a push present. Push
Yep,
presents are a thing. Really,
right. They
guys,
are a
I'm
thing.
not kidding. Like the women, they know this stuff. I didn't know it until I knew it, and then my wife has a pair of diamond earrings. But it's a thing. It's a
Mm-hmm.
thing. Yeah, push presents are legit.
Yes. So our anniversary, birthday, Mother's Day, Father's Day, there are so many reasons to buy jewelry and so many reasons to buy. I'll put your website up from the Jewelry
Thank you,
Republic
Jack.
with Greg
Awesome.
Boudah and Emma Boudah. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being here
Thank
today.
you.
Thank you to all our viewers for tuning in. Again, if you've got any questions, you can reach out to Greg. If you have anything in the comments below, we'll come back and read later, and we're happy to answer anything that we can to help you with. But thank you again, Greg, for being here today. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Right back at you, Jackie. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.